Alright guys, I was just going to do a quick video on my graphics settings for the new remastered MW2 on PC, and this is the settings that I found optimal for myself. It helped me squeeze a lot more FPS out of the game, and also helped when I came to streaming the game. It made it so the stream no longer was laggy and stuff. There's a few settings in this game I've never really seen before, and it's good to turn them on or off, but I'll let you guys know. So first off, in the video, obviously set it to your native resolution or windowed full screen, which is what I prefer to play on. It will default to the native resolution and it will say 60Hz here, but ignore that. That's just because it's windowed full screen. It can't do specific FPS limits on it. Go to your advanced video. Because it's borderless full screen, it doesn't sync every frame, so that's locked. Only available in full screen, as you can see at the bottom. Set your max frames to unlimited, that's what I decided to do. Native rendered resolution means that it will render at 1080p only, unless it renders at your monitor's native resolution. So if you've got a 2K monitor, it'll render at 2K. If you've got a 4K monitor, it'll render at 4K. I'll turn this on just in case I accidentally change this, because if you turn it off, it basically means you can render it, higher than your monitor can output. So if I was to render at this, it would be, as if I'm rendering a game at 4K, which would cause significant frame issues. But what I like to do is just leave it on off. Native render resolution. Turn that on, right? When it comes to texture options, what I found was these are the settings that I found made the game look the best, and still performed at over 90 FPS. So put the text resolution all the way to extra. I loved that. I did knock this down for one or two missions that were a bit intensive when I noticed it started to dip below 60. Particularly missions like the Whiskey Hotel mission, Danger Close, Cliffhanger, the snowstorm kind of made me a bit choppy. What other mission was it? Takedown, I think, as well, when we were in the favela, that was a bit choppy. But I don't know if that was just because the game was, I don't know, settling in, but I knocked it down to high for a couple of missions and then knocked it back up for the rest, and I never got many issues after that. All these settings, I usually leave them like this. One setting though, this, fill remaining memory. Now what this does is, see your dedicated video memory down here in the corner? This uses it all, so it will fill up the 8 gig. Now, this is saying that it will fill the remaining video memory with textures, basically meaning that it pre-renders a lot more. But you don't really need this turned on, because it basically means that your graphics card is maxed out, and if you're doing anything else on another monitor, i.e. I was streaming, or if you want to throw on a video on YouTube or something like that, all of that uses a little bit of GPU, and if you're using all of your GPU for one game, it's going to cause significant choppy frame issues. I was having such a hard time until I discovered this setting, turned it off, boom. Files were fine, frames were fine, everything else was great. The filtering and stuff, I leave it high. It's only got low, normal and high. I like it on high. It doesn't really, I don't know, I've never really noticed any difference on this one. I mean, it's just makes everything look nicer. But shadow options, I turned the shadow map resolution down to normal. I always do this in every game because I don't tend to notice the difference between normal and high shadows. I notice the difference between low and normal, but not normal and high. So that saved me a wee bit of frames there. Depth of field, I turned this up to medium quality because it's a story game. We like to look at it, it looks lovely. Depth of field, beautiful. Other ones, leave these all on so you can copy them here. So screen space is high, medium distance is on, subsurface scattering is on, depth pre-pass is on. Another one that was great was there's my anti-laser options. Honestly, these make very little difference, but I always try and max it. I thought it was max, but there you go. The super sampling, it just makes images seem rounder and more curved, like his chin there, you can actually see individual hairs and stuff. It takes away a lot of the blockiness of graphics. One thing to help your memory in-game and your frames in-game is to turn on shader preload. Now this does turn on shader preload and then turn on shader preload during cinematics. This will ramp your loading times up, quite significantly, but you get no frame issues in game, and it's amazing. Cannot fault that setting enough. Again, make sure load times are a little bit longer, but most of the time you're watching the cutscenes between missions anyway, so you know it's not too bad. There's only one time where it took longer than the actual cutscene, and it just kind of sits at a black screen for half a second. But you know, you take it how it is. Had no frame drops in any level in this game with these settings, and I'm using a 1070 Ti as it says here in the corner, which, you know, pretty high-end graphics card, and it's barely even using, you know, it's just using like 56% of the graphics card. That's perfect. That's what you can ask for, and the game looks brilliant. 90 to 100 FPS constant throughout. It's an amazing game. But yeah, there's my optimal graphics settings. Any other questions, just ask down below. See you guys later.